What's up, guys? Steven Z Kill here, bringing a first time in a long time, and I haven't done this even on this channel, a movie review. And what movie are we talking? We're talking about the Dragon Ball Super BROLY movie. Now, I know we just saw this, and I am so fucking hyped. I want to also do this review with Jacob, and I've been trying to get a hold of him, and I've talked to him, and even tried to get his attention with a voting system and everything, but I'm going to give one last try. Maybe he can come over. I'm going to just start doing the review, so if he shows up or whatnot, whatever, but at least I can try to get him over the phone or something. By the way, guys, spoiler warning, we are going to go into the spoilers, so let me give him a call. Hey, Jacob.
Started.
So, did you get my messages about the movie review?
Yeah, which one are you trying to do?
The one where it's about the Dragon Ball Super BROLY movie.
Did you say Dragon Ball Super BROLY?
Hey, what's up? What the fuck?
I'm here for it.
You're here for
Let's
it.
talk about the movie.
Yes, that movie was so good. Oh my god.
Preface. You read the title, you saw the thumbnail. This video is going to be spoilerific, so if you haven't seen it or you don't want spoilers, fucking kick rocks. Get out of here, because it's going to be full of a lot of spoilers.
Seriously.
That being said, first impressions of the movie were fucking amazing.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude. So, I don't like the older Broly movies at all. They kind of suck. Steven put them on my laptop a long time ago. I was going to take a trip. Yeah, that version. The legendary bodybuilder Super Saiyan.
Pectorials.
So I was going on a trip. I was going out to Iowa to visit some family. And I was like, I don't have my old stuff that I used to watch videos on. He's like, oh, you want me to put some stuff on your laptop? I was like, sure. So he put a few movies on there, and one of them was the Broly movie, which I watched, and it was just ass. It wasn't good. I mean, it was fun to watch, but it wasn't a good movie. And I think a lot of people agree with this, and the story, the backstory was stupid. I wasn't a huge fan of the voice of Broly. I think he could have done a better job. He kind of sounded like infantile, and I just think that the build of Broly was a little off. But, oh my god, man, Toriyama kicked ass with this one. He sounded better, the backstory fucking made sense, and it was just an amazing movie all around. I was blown away by it. It was so fucking good. There were several times during this film when I got just straight chills.
Dude, the audience applauds so many different times.
Yeah, about 4 different times. There was just straight full-on applause throughout the entire theater.
Now, as a small perspective of us two going to the theaters, you guys know me. I'm a fucking huge Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super nerd, and I've seen every episode, watched it week by week of Dragon Ball Super and everything else. So as a perspective, he's a Dragon Ball Z fan.
Mm-hmm. Big one.
He hasn't watched Super, though.
None. Now, I have seen several clips, like scrolling through YouTube, and be like, oh yeah, Goku versus Jiren, blah blah blah. And I've seen small things. It's all on the Japanese voicing of it. So I've seen certain things. I know what Ultra Instinct is. I know that Jiren whoops up on Goku for like 90% of the fucking thing. Yeah, I know it's just some really basic stuff. I know Frieza's there, but I haven't watched the Super series. And I want to. I'm just waiting for it to all to be English dubbed, because I don't like the Japanese voices. They don't sound right to me. It just I think of that nostalgia from watching it as a kid, and I can't think of anything but other than the voices that I know, and those are American voices.
A question for you from me.
What?
As a perspective of a person who didn't watch Super, going into this movie, do you think you need to watch Super?
Yes. From the things that it showed that Goku's now capable of, watching Super is... I think you could go without watching Super and watch this movie, but it makes me want to watch Super. I don't think watching Super is not necessary to watch the Broly movie. Because you're going to... I mean, if you haven't seen any of the other movies, or you just go, hey, look, the Broly movie's redone. Let's go watch that. Super Saiyan Blue's going to confuse the fuck out of you. Super Saiyan God's going to confuse the fuck out of you. You're just going to be like, what's happened over... since the last time I watched a Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z movie.
And in a basic sense, you did see the other two movies.
But the series of Super itself is not required watching to watch the Broly movie.
Like, he's seen a Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, a few clips here and there during maybe the Goku Black arc and a little bit of a Tournament of Power, but that's basically because of social media and whatnot.
Right.
And of course, his biggest friend, more ways than one, who is a DBZ nerd and can't keep his mouth shut when he's into something, especially when I wear stuff like this.
Had I not watched anything of, anything else since I was a kid of Dragon Ball Z, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this?
And also, I would like to point out one more thing. But you don't need to watch the entirety of the entirety of Super to enjoy the Broly movie, right? No. You have basic knowledge is what he has. He's a Dragon Ball Z fan. He knows of Super and certain elements of Super.
And I've seen the other movies.
And the other movies really do help. And overall, as a bare minimum, before we get into animation, before we get into story, how would you rate this movie for yourself?
9.5 out of 10.
9.5 out of 10? Okay.
9.5 out of 10.
Solid 9.5? Alright.
No, I don't think any movie's perfect, but this was about as close as they get.
So, and we still haven't even touched spoilers.
No.
So, you still have some time. When we actually start talking about the story, this is now...
I put up a little card that says spoilers start at...
Yeah, I'll put a little thing, so in the beginning people know. But, so, in a rating system for me, this Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, in comparison to Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super had some issues. As a huge fan of the series, it sucked the first 60 episodes. I'm going to say that. There was maybe a few episodes in that first 60 that were really fucking good. And, of course, the giant dump in the room, episode 5.
I'll figure that out eventually.
And...
Remember,
this Dragon Ball Super Broly movie is the essence of the most Dragon Ball Z Super has ever been. Let me just say that right now. This tops the Goku versus Jiren fight, even though that was fantastic. And certain episodes during the Tournament of Power, even though they were fantastic. This is the most Z Super has ever been. Like, if you're a fan of Z, you need to see this movie. You need to know some basic knowledge of Super, and of course... stuff like that. And me personally, after seeing this movie, me and him are going to go see it again. And
more likely.
Maybe I'll spot some stuff I might have missed or critique it a little bit more. But for me, it is almost a damn near perfect movie. I would say if I didn't give it a full 100%, 10 out of 10, I'm going to give it a solid 9.75. Almost a perfect. Just because of one moment, even though I consider it maybe a comedical choice of animation.
I think it was on purpose. I know what you're talking about, and I think they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
I think they really did it on purpose.
Now, if you just wanted to check this video out, right now is when we're actually going to start going into spoilers.
Yeah.
So this was just kind of a nice warm-up.
I really like how they made a backstory that makes sense. They made the Planet Vegeta something that was very relatable. It was real. It seemed like, and I thought, I always thought that Frieza was always ruling over the Saiyans. This is what I knew. I thought that was truth, but we come to find out King Cold owned the Saiyans, and at one point it was called the Cold Force.
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay, that was funny. I didn't realize that. And then he comes down to Planet Vegeta, shows his face, and introduces us to one of the nastiest antagonists.
By the way,
that the
on their
series
entry,
has ever known.
On their entry to Planet Vegeta, they fucking just crash and destroy buildings.
Oh yeah, that one guy's like, "Hey, watch where you're fucking flying, dickhead!" Because he flies when they just take out the top of a building.
They have no respect
That
for the
was
Saiyans.
hilarious.
They don't care about the Saiyans. They just they just prove right then and there that they are puppets.
So then Cold just fucking introduces us to, like I just said, the baddest baddie in
Baby
the series.
Frieza. I'm gonna call him Baby Frieza at this
Fucking
point.
Baby Frieza, little child, and I like how they made it very clear that he was a child.
Yeah.
He was little.
He also
But
had different skin color too.
He did. He was, you know, he was like even
Redder.
yeah,
he was
more
redder.
back from his base form. But then he's like, "Hey, you know, you obviously know how I run things. Here's my kid. Just so you know, he's kind of a fucking crazy little bastard. He's kind of a psychopath, so things are gonna be a little different from now on." And you just get that fucking creepy laugh that Frieza does, and I think it was perfect. Yeah, that even weirder than that.
Oh yeah, even creepy.
But it was a perfect way to introduce crazy, batshit, stupid, evil fucking Frieza for the first time, particularly the first time.
And they did it with a creative way too, by introducing us to something we already know, the Scouters.
Right. So he comes up with a gift and introduces us to what, you know, something that we all already know about, but working them into the narrative of the story and saying, you know, showing that this is how Frieza was introduced to the Saiyans by giving them these Scouters that they all used on the, which was once the Cold Force, is now the Frieza Force. And I love how he puts one on. He's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna show you how these things work. We obviously know how they work. He turns it on. He's like, oh, looks like there's weapons pointed at us.
There's a sniper. There's a person there. There's a.
And he's seeing all these power levels. He's like, let's just, you know, sniper in that tower, sniper in that tower, and one in that tower, and it fires right behind his head. Like, okay, and he's like, that's how they work. Have any questions? Feel free to complain.
I would love to hear them.
He's such a little psychopath off the bat.
And that worked for Frieza so well.
Yeah, and it does. Like, you see right from the very beginning his complete contempt for the Saiyans.
Yeah,
and I think that worked really, really well.
And after that point, we get introduced to Paragus, and Vegeta
was done so much better in this than he was in the original Broly movies.
Oh yeah,
because I was ready to not like Paragus again. For him to be like, this guy's kind of a fucking tool. He's dumb. He's got a kind of stupid voice, but
he's a good asshole.
He's a good asshole.
He's a good asshole father.
In this one, he's a good asshole.
Because he actually shows a little bit of compassion towards his son in a sense, because unlike in the other movie, he really didn't get he just saw Broly. Even though in this movie he still sees Broly only as a tool, but he still showed his fatherly side. Yeah.
Because you know when you first see him, you see King Vegeta, and they're in the like incubation chamber. I would call
where all
it.
the babies are
Those
sleeping.
little fucking big old pods. And Vegeta, you know, King Vegeta's looking at his son. By the way, King Vegeta looked really good. I think they did his design really nice.
His design in this movie was fantastic.
His goatee was almost as good as my beard. He was like, I'm King Vegeta.
And seeing King Vegeta, he was a lot younger than we've ever really seen him, so that was really cool to see. Because, by the way,
not sponsored by Jack and Rose.
By the way, this takes place 41 years before anything that we know.
Yeah, so we're 41 years before the Tournament of Power ended.
Yeah. And so King Vegeta sees that this peasant baby, this garbage baby, what the fuck are you doing in here?
He's literally sitting there oogling his own child and turns around, who the fuck is this? Like, what is this damn peasant child doing in the same chamber as my glorious son?
Yeah. And then some lady comes in, which... I don't know if you noticed this, but she had a weird accent.
She did have a weird accent. I wasn't sure what that was all about when they were on the same, like, in the same. I don't know. Maybe it's like,
sounded Russian to me.
Maybe it's like, yeah, it did. Maybe it's like Earth, where there's different regions have different accents.
Yeah.
They've never really shown anything quite like that before, but it makes sense.
And Planet Vegeta is fucking huge. I would say it's probably bigger than Earth.
It probably is.
So they were trying to explain how his power level was even bigger and had higher potential than Vegeta, which was not a good thing.
They call it his latent abilities. Not what he's showing now, but they can calculate. I guess I'm assuming just kind of roughly calculate how powerful they're going to be when they're mature, which is I guess what they're referring to when they say latent abilities. And they're like, dude, his latent abilities are leagues above Vegeta's. And he's like, and that can't fucking be. Prove it. Show me the scout him for me.
And then it fucking breaks.
They go to scan him. Poof! Thing explodes. They're like,
So
shit. They're like, oh, it must be a defective, skewed thing. We'll do another one. Again, readings off the fucking charts. And King Vegeta obviously kind of, in his head, he's like, well, there can't be fucking stronger than mine. If he's really that powerful, he's a danger to all of us. We gotta get him out of here. Perry's like, no, you're full of shit. You're just mad that he's stronger than your kid.
Watch your tongue.
And he's
I'll
like,
have it.
well, for your information, he's already on his way off the planet. I've already sent his ass away.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot. I would have to say, even though this movie was so action-packed, and we're about to come up into a very comedic moment too, but this movie had a lot of comedy. It had a lot of good,
good laughs.
Like it had Dragon Ball-esque humor that you didn't see too much in Z. You see occasionally in Super, and it definitely showed that Toriyama definitely gave it the Toriyama touch throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, there's got to be little sprinkles of humor just to kind of ground it.
Yeah.
And then fucking, he told you, yeah, your kid's already on his way off the planet. Fucking Pegasus just stage dives out of a window, flying towards him.
Swan dive!
Straight up, he just fucking koosh.
And flies off, steals a ship. I forget this other fucker Saiyan's name is.
I don't. Beats.
Oh, okay.
Beats.
Yeah, and he's sadly is like a skinny ass, like non-muscly engineer Saiyan.
Yeah, he's like one of the, and that was another thing is how they kind of showed not every Saiyan was a warrior class.
And they even showed that they had more military.
Yeah, there were engineers, there were pilots, there were, hunters and other kind of shit. And they kind of, your first inkling to that is with Beats, where he's a skinnier dude, and he's, sitting there working on a ship, and he has a blaster instead of, hurling fucking key beams, whatever the fuck, I don't care if I say it right. Working on his thing, he's like, what, you can't be there? He's like, try to fucking stop me, and he fucking takes off. But it's kind of neat because that character comes to understand exactly what Pegasus is doing. He's like, all right, yeah, that's pretty fucked up, but I'm with you. And he helps him go to this ugly planet Vampa to rescue his kid. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. Not everyone was completely against him. He didn't just have to fucking kill him off the bat or beat his ass to death.
Yeah, the dude was pretty cool. He understood the situation and how fucked up it is because if anyone had a child and someone thought that the child was a danger to their child's line and legacy and possibly throne ship, and said, you know what, I'm not going to kill your kid, but I'm going to send him to a place where he can die.
Yeah, I'm just going to send him somewhere to just fucking rot. And he really did. And
but still, R.I.P. all those bugs.
Yeah, even knowing, this Beats dude, he's a pilot. They're coming on the planet. He's like, dude, you can't make this kind of entry. You're gonna get us fucking killed. Slow down. Go somewhere else. There's a clearing right over there. Big and fucking Pegasus, being the idiot that he is, like, nope, I'm just going for it. Next scene, crash ship.
Yep. And so they get on this planet. It's all dark and it's nighttime, kind of stormy. They don't know what's going on. And then these giant bugs chase them. They hide in this cave for a little while. Then when it finally becomes daytime, they actually locate Broly's ship, Space Pod, and then they find a body source, similar size to a Saiyan baby. They go to...
What the fuck did you just say? A body source?
Body heat signature. Sure.
Well, they found his suit first. They found the busted ass pod, and they're looking around through the scouter scope, and fucking Pegasus finds his armor and a shitload of those dead bugs.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh wow, it's all stretched out. He obviously turned into a grade 8.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They were using their little their primitive version of the scouter.
Scouter scopes.
Scouter scopes. And instead of instantly locating, they were kind of looking for a heat signature, and they saw a small form of a small body, probably the size of a baby to them because they're so used to it. And so they went to it, and fucking Broly was huddled up inside of a dead bug leg and eating it at the same time.
Chowing down.
Apparently that stuff is very sour, by the way, because this is near the end.
Yeah.
But
with
Chile
and
Chile
and Lemo.
Yeah. When we pop certain characters,
of which, I'm gonna jump forward a little bit. Can we all just talk about the amount of fan service with Chile?
I didn't mind that.
Neither did I necessarily, but I felt it a little over the top, dude. I mean, they like had her opening her top and fucking, they literally were like zooming in on this chick's ass through like 90% of her screen time.
And very, very thick moments of her ass.
Bro, like, she's like leaning out of a window like this, and in order to look at another character, they're looking across her ass.
Basically, you see where I'm, you know, Jacob's the character he's talking about. I'm the ass. I'm Sheila's ass in a sense, like frame right here.
Looking straight across.
That's how much of the camera is her. That's how much the scene is of her ass for like a good like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
straight.
Like, if this is her ass, this was the character they were trying to look at, like that.
Yeah, that's example. And so, before we go any further, let's talk about how Vegeta, or not Vegeta, I mean Paragus. Once they figure out that the ship's unfixable, kind of a surprise, but at the same time not so much, because as soon as they were talking about food and rationing,
yeah, he's like,
out,
we got about 10 days worth of food left, and Paragus just straight up,
bitch.
He said it before. You can't trust a Saiyan. I wouldn't trust a Saiyan to save my life. Well, I know how we can survive food, conserve food. Shoots him right in the fucking heart. And I'm like, wow, that was halfway expected,
cold.
but halfway not expected. Damn.
Because you thought that because the guy understood Paragus and was willing to help him, that maybe, well, I don't know what, like, to expect, like, maybe the guy was going to get killed. That's how I thought it was. One of the bugs was going to fucking bite his head off or something.
Yeah, no, Paragus took his own blaster and shot him in the chest with it.
Seriously. It was pretty fucked up.
That was hard. I was like, wow.
And you know what? I just realized something. There's a little karma with how Paragus killed him. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, you're jumping way ahead.
But I just realized that connection of how he killed that dude. Yep. Oh my god. Foreshadowing right there. Beyond belief.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until you just said it. And then fucking... So it does this crazy cool, you know, we see all that, we see the backstory, and then it does this really awesome opening title,
No, you're
credits.
jumping ahead.
I know, but
okay.
What are we really skipping after that?
We're skipping the whole Bardock part.
Yeah,
that was okay, let's do a quick summary. So basically, if you guys ever heard of Dragon Ball Minus, it's basically that, but I think done a lot better. Bardock comes back to... This is, by the way, 5 years after Paragus found Broly and was stranded on the planet. Bardock heads back with his partner, and he says, I feel like something's up. Frieza's never called every Saiyan to this planet. And you know what? He's always hated us.
If they really had something to say to us, they could just say it on the counters.
Yeah, and if it was weapons, like a new weapon or new technology that we can use, he wouldn't have this gathering. He's never done it before. Yeah, something's up.
He would just ship it out to the
and you know
factions.
What? What's the best way to kill a whole herd of cattle? Get them into one room. Kind of situation. So
Bardock fucking kind of feels this, and he's like, I gotta... He pulls like a Star Wars, I got a bad feeling about this. And he's basically just tells Goku's mom, can't put her fucking name right now, Gine, that he's got a bad feeling that they need to send Goku off world. And so it kind of you get everything comes full circle. Now we're seeing why Goku was sent off, but like a better version of why he was sent off.
Well, more Superman, exactly, almost Superman.
Very exactly Superman-ish. It was very exactly.
Instead of him
Planet
being
Vegeta's Krypton.
That's my one
Goku
critique. Actually,
Superman.
That's actually one of my critiques. I still kind of wish it was luck of the draw that Goku was sent off of Planet Vegeta to take over a planet as a Saiyan would, because he was programmed to wake up and start destroying. And then Grandpa Gohan finds him, and he bumps his head, and he loses all his data of as a Saiyan. See, that's something they're retconning a little bit, and I don't mind it, but at the same time, I still like the original storyline of it.
Yeah.
But
I still like that Bardock was trying to, have him be good and go away, and I like how, it's mostly it's just a feeling from Bardock. So he's like, if I turn out to be completely fucking wrong, I'll come find you.
And by the way,
I will come get you. And he knows he's sending me off to Earth. I will come back and get you.
And one more thing is, I think there's about 20 plus minutes more to this movie that's going to hopefully come back to the Blu-ray.
Blu-rays, yeah.
Because
immediately after he sends Goku off, the very next scene is Bardock.
No, Frieza's coming out with a giant blast.
Well, yeah. So obviously that, but you see Bardock with a group of Saiyans, and they're battle damaged. They've been through some shit at this point, and I feel like, just like you said, they cut out a whole fight scene that I would really like to see what happened there.
And I think it's supposed to be
like
reminiscent to the original idea of what Bardock did to try to stop Frieza.
Right, yeah, because he's like missing parts of his armor, he's all fucking cut up and shit, so I want to see exactly what Bardock did to get to that point before Frieza just... and then yoink.
So, now Bardock's story part is done.
Yeah.
He doesn't survive, and sadly Gine dies.
Well, we all know that. Most of them die. All of them die. And before it continues, can we talk about...
Oh, this is...
Young Raditz.
Oh my god, yes! This is what I mean by comedy moments.
Okay, if you see this, tell me I'm wrong, but little Raditz looked like Sonic the Hedgehog.
With longer hair.
The long hair... he looked like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know what else to say about that.
He does a somersault, and he's a black hedgehog.
Yeah,
he's Shadow.
Yeah.
He does the somersault, he's Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's funny.
Raditz the Hedgehog.
Raditz the Hedgehog. And then little baby Vegeta when they're like renovating, oh my god, a meteor hit Planet Vegeta and killed all the Saiyans, and Vegeta's like, oh fuck, I'll never be King Vegeta now. Like,
by the way,
shit, his people were dead.
You don't know about this, but they mentioned Tarble. Do you know anything about that? No. So there's a special called Hey It's Son Goku Family Reunion kind of thing. It was a special. It was a 30-minute special they did back in 2008. It was only released in Japan, by the way.
Okay.
And it was a small like get-together party, kind of similar like what happened in Battle of Gods with Bulma. And randomly we find out Vegeta has a brother that was sent off because of how weak and puny he was when he was born. He was sent to a planet to basically... Vegeta kind of did the same thing to his own son that he thought had no potential to what he did to Broly, basically. Because he didn't care and he thought he wouldn't be much. But later on to know, he did survive on that planet and he's still fucking weak as fuck. But he got married to a weird alien chick. Yeah, and that's pretty much the gist of that. And so they reference
and then
make
hilariously
they make
Nappa.
Yeah.
With hair.
Nappa with hair. Yeah.
And then so after that, they jump into the title, obviously the opening credits, and they do this awesome, like, flash forward shit where it's showing different clips and different things of him fighting Piccolo and him in the Tournament of Power and him going, Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God and all these different things happening. It's just counting up.
All iconic scenes from Z
years.
and Super, basically.
Yeah, and then just counting up 41 years later.
Yeah.
And then it opens up on Goku and Vegeta
clashing
just in this fucking middle of the ocean, this tiny little island with what looks like a fucking resort on it. Come to find out, Bulma bought an island and put a cottage the size of a Hilton hotel on it, and
Bigger.
did it for the sole purpose of giving Goku and Vegeta somewhere to train where they don't fuck shit up. It's nothing but ocean for miles and miles around. And her real little reason was the boys needed a place to train.
Yeah.
And they are going ham. They're creating 100-foot waves and splashes and beating the shit out
That's
of each
their
other.
base form, too. If they were Super Saiyan, they'd make tsunamis.
They were in their base form, fucking around, having a sparring match. And I thought that was kind of cool to see, where it's like they've finally gotten the fact that these two can't fight normally or can't spar normally without hurting somebody.
By the way,
so
this
they
is
have to buy them an island.
By the way, this is the first introduction to battle animation in this entire movie.
And it is crisp.
Dude, it is on par, maybe even better than Battle of Gods, I would say.
I think it was better than Resurrection F.
Oh, definitely.
I think Battle of Gods was fucking perfect. I think it was great. But
I would say on par. I would say maybe...
I think it's on par, but I do think it kicks the snot out of Resurrection F.
Oh, fuck
I think
the hell yeah.
These fight scenes were so much better.
I'm just talking about this fight scene. I'm not even talking about the later fight scene. The holy fuck. Just the sparring match. A warm-up. Which was like maybe 7 minutes.
If that.
And it was so good. It was fucking a feast for the eyes.
It was, truly.
And it was like, holy shit, are you sure this is not this the way the animation was in the beginning of the movie for this little sparring match, it felt like that is like battle animation for like the final end game boss kind of situation.
Yeah, it looked just like Resurrection F. It was the fight between Goku and Frieza in Resurrection F was this opening sparring match.
But better, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would say it's still better than Resurrection F.
Yeah, it was still on par. And then, so I'm, as they're doing that, I'm wondering how they're gonna segue into Goku fighting Broly, and then they were very clever about it. They end up, they're sitting there on the line watching Goku and Vegeta spar, and all of a sudden, Bulma gets what looks like an iWatch call, an fucking Apple Watch. It opens up, and it's Goten and Trunks. And they're like, hey, so, yeah, someone broke into the lab and stole the Dragon Balls that you've been collecting. And in the background, the fucking... Goddamn, who is it? Oh, God.
A weak Frieza henchman.
No, not them.
Oh, the Pilaf gang?
Pilaf gang. They're in the background like, because Bulma's freaking out that the Dragon Balls are gone.
And the thing is,
and the Dragon Radar.
And the Pilaf gang always want to try to steal that. Mm-hmm. By the way, they saved a little bit of money because even though they advertised Goten being in this movie, he's in that spot, and also Trunks is in the movie. But that is literally the only scene they get was telling Bulma that the Dragon Balls were stolen, so was the radars. And Goten does not speak a word, and neither does the Pilaf gang. They just stand there. And Trunks is the only one to move.
At least they got a scene. Gohan got nothing this entire movie. Not even a name drop. At all with the entire thing. No Gohan. It's like he was writing a book or something, and they just couldn't be.
He was in a conference.
Couldn't be bothered.
He was in a conference, probably, just like fucking every other time.
So yeah, they end up finding out that the last Dragon Ball is in the Arctic.
Well, Bulma knew about that. She knew where it was. That's because right. She just didn't want to go and deal with it.
She didn't want to go deal with the cold.
Yeah. Oh, can we get to the best, funniest part?
Find out why Bulma's looking for the Dragon Balls in the first fucking place. Go ahead.
She wants to fucking be 5 years younger.
Look 5 years younger.
Look 5 years. Well, she wants to be 5 years younger. Mm-hmm. So, but if she goes any further than that, it will be noticeable, and she would be seen.
She wanted to summon the Eternal Dragon Shenron to cut 5 years off of her looks. Bitch. You selfish bitch. And then they're like, well, why not just do more? It's like, well, that'd be too noticeable. Leave it to only a woman would think of something like that. Not to be sexist or anything, but only a woman would have the wherewithal to think about, if I take too much off, people are going to notice.
And we now know officially what Frieza's gender is. Segue into this. So, Frieza's collected the Dragon Balls for something very comical.
He wants to add 5 centimeters to his height. 5 centimeters. He doesn't want immortality, and he explains why. He doesn't want, unlimited power. He doesn't want his enemies dead. He wants 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters of height added on. And when asked why not add more, not to be the size of King Cold or the size of his previous form.
Second form.
Whatever. He's like, because if I ask for too much, people are going to notice. I want them to think I'm still growing.
I wanted to be in my base, most powerful form, and my golden form, and that's it. Boy! That made everyone in the theater laugh
we were all
so hard because
we were dying.
Because it was the exact similar reasoning that Bulma has. So Frieza and Bulma have similar ideas on how to use their wishes.
Which neither of them get.
Yeah. Then
God, what happens next?
Next, we get introduced to the green girl and the orange dude.
Yeah, gets to Chile and Lemo.
Yeah, Chile and Lemo.
Chili and Lemon. Fucking Toriyama shtick.
Yeah. And so they're just heading to a planet where they have a distress beacon. They're just tracking a distress beacon from another Frieza ship. So
and
they're just going
that it's an old signal.
Yeah, it's an old signal that hasn't been that's been going off for several years. They don't know why or what reason, but they're also because this Frieza Force has just been trying to revive after the Tournament of Power. Frieza's now back. He needs his force, and they're trying to recruit people. So he basically sends out these groups to find strong warriors.
Lest we not forget that Vegeta finally finds out what Goku did. and he's unhappy about it. He finally tells Vegeta, he finally tells Vegeta that he brought back Frieza to help in the Tournament of Power. And Vegeta's, the words that came out of his were, "You dumbass!"
Well, let me rephrase that. Vegeta knows, he knew about that before the Tournament of Power, because in Super. As an example, he didn't watch Super. So, at the end of Super, I guess, do you care for me to spoil this part? After they win the Tournament of Power, Whis brings Frieza back to life.
Ah, that's what it was.
And as a reward for helping finishing the tournament.
Gotcha.
And Goku was okay with this and let Frieza go on his merry way.
Okay.
And that's why he was mad.
So, Vegeta is not happy about this. He calls him a fucking moron and a dumbass. Like,
how many times are you going to call me an idiot? As many times as I want!
Like, motherfucker, you son of what?
Oh, that was so good. And fucking Chris Sabat in Vegeta's voice actually just called him a straight up dumbass!
The words dumbass straight came from Vegeta's
mouth.
mouth.
It was so good to hear that.
Like, finally, somebody said it. Of all the things that Goku's done over the years that were questionable at best,
yeah.
he called him a dumbass.
So, Chile and Lemo freaking find Paragus and about to be attacked by these fucking giant bug creatures that Broly eats a lot of. And
I need to find some of those because apparently those bugs lead to games.
Well, bugs are just nothing but protein.
And whatever they are, they lead to games.
And so Paragus says, "Broly!" And Broly literally out of nowhere just goes, "One punch!"
Just straight shoulder checks this bug and fucking blows it to hell.
Yeah, seriously, in just like literally a split second. And by the way, Chile just instantly has the, "Oh my god, he's hot. I want to fuck him."
She got the fuck me eyes for Broly.
Yeah, instantly. Like, because she's just looking at his pectorals like...
So, they bring Broly and Paragus back. And obviously Frieza's a little surprised that they're Saiyans still alive, other than Vegeta and Goku.
And Frieza tries to...
They try to like, acclimate them back into being a part of the Frieza Force. And I think Frieza obviously must remember Paragus.
No, he didn't. I don't think he remembered Paragus because he was just trying to comfort him.
So.
Well, no, the reason is because he wanted him to not know everything that truly happened between, because he didn't feel comfortable saying that he destroyed Planet Vegeta and all the Saiyans. He still told Paragus that a meteor destroyed the planet.
Yeah.
To keep him on his side and to possibly use Broly as a form of entertainment of freelance fighting that he could enjoy watching between the stupid monkeys, as he would say.
And then we also find out that Paragus ended up having to cut off Broly's tail because apparently ate Broly too strong. I can't imagine what that would have looked like for Broly to actually go Ozaru and fuck shit up.
And
so he actually had to cut his tail off.
You know what's really sad is that moment that Paragus shows how he's been able to control Broly with that shock collar.
Yeah, they bring back the whole the whole control collar aspect of it.
Instead of in the original,
it's like a messes with his brainwave and just kind of brings him down.
Fucking
it's a legit
chills him out.
Shock.
This
collar,
one, this one just brings.
You see, they show bring out the remote for this thing, and Broly's like, "Oh fuck! Oh no! Oh fuck!" Like he's had this thing used on him a lot. He's
pretty much traumatized.
Yeah. He's had at one point, one of a drunk Saiyan starts fucking with Chile, and Broly steps in like motherfucker, and he lays his ass down,
almost kills him with one choke grab,
and then fucking Paragus has to hit him with it, and it shocks the shit out of him.
Like it's actually pretty brutal how detailed they made it.
Collar, or it's not like some minor. I mean, it zapped the hell out of him, enough to put Broly onto his knees. Like,
it's kind of like the scene where fucking Pikachu electrocutes Team Rocket kind of situation.
I think it was worse than that.
Oh, by far, way worse. And Chile had no fucks. She was like, "No, that's fucked up," and even got into Paragus' face to swipe the. Yeah,
she straight swiped his controller and busted it, and Broly was like, "Oh, I'm free."
Yeah, as he was fucking snacking on everything. Like he had a he had a fucking pile of like rations under him while he's eating, and protein bars. Yeah. By the way, Broly never drank water before. That was weird.
Yeah, that was funny. He's like, he's trying to open this container, and Lemma opens it for him. He's like, "What is this?" And he goes, "You've never had water before?" And he just starts fucking chugging it. He's like,
"That was good
water."
Yeah.
Like, dude, you've never had water?
And then the saddest thing comes up
when you think
next.
about the fucking, when you think about the planet, I don't think there was clean water.
No, they were only drinking. They were probably getting their
bug juice,
their nutrients, their water source from the bug juice.
Yeah, bug juice.
And the saddest thing is you guys see him have this little carpet-looking thing on his.
Well, show your figure.
Well,
it's see how like he's got like the purple tunic right around here. It's like this fuzzy green thing that looks like a pad of grass. And come to find out, this planet that they were on had these creatures. If you've seen Star Wars, you know what the Sarlacc is, and it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
And they're walking on it, and they're like, "Is this grass? It doesn't feel quite right." And you find it's like these giant fucking grassy weasel fucking dog things.
Face things. Yeah, and they're eating the bugs too. So, and the bugs are drinking apparently their blood.
And so it's like some weird cycle.
And Broly, as a kid, no longer a baby, as a kid, still training under Paragus, befriends one of them, in a sense, and
he uses it to train. So he trains by avoiding this thing trying to fucking bite him.
And eventually the thing found him as a friend. And then Paragus got upset over him finding a friend. Shot the fucker in the ear
and blew his ear clean off.
And the guy and the dog creature thing never wanted to mess with Broly and never fought him.
He called it Ba because of the sound of it.
Yeah, that was cute too. They really humanized Broly so much in this movie.
Yeah, they gave him like a real story. Like he wasn't just some dead in the brain brute. Like he actually had a heart and a soul and a mind and cared about a thing.
At the end of the movie,
and now he wears this thing's ear because it's the reminder that only friend he ever had.
And it is
like, oh, I'm sad.
It is very sad, and it's so humanizing Broly. Like, unlike the original Broly, like I actually like this Broly and everything, but I would never say I would like the fight, and I wanted to see Broly get beaten and killed. But I didn't want to see this Broly die.
Yeah, no.
That's the biggest difference.
Pretty much right after that point, is I was like, okay, I kind of hope you end up in a stalemate.
Yeah. So finally they arrive on Earth, about to land and interfere.
Because Frieza lets Paragus know that Vegeta's alive, King Vegeta's son. So now Paragus wants to take out his anger on Vegeta for what his dad did.
Yeah.
The sins of the father are for the son. So he wants revenge for something Vegeta didn't do, but his dad did.
And even when they finally land and Frieza introduces them and everything, and Paragus points at you like, "Fuck you and fuck your dad. I want you dead because of what your dad did." And Vegeta straight up said, "That doesn't fucking matter.
That's not me.
That wasn't my fault.
That's not my monkey. I'm not gonna fuck it. Like, this is not my monkey, not my circus. I have nothing to do with this. That was my dad. I don't care.
He's long dead. I don't care.
I wasn't even around when what you're talking about happened.
Yeah.
I was a child conquering a planet.
He was actually a baby. He was a child when 5 years later, remember?
Yeah. I was a child. No, child conquering the planet when the whole thing blew up.
Oh, okay.
Like, I wasn't even around, dude.
And can we just start talking about the action now?
Yeah. So when Paragus finally, Broly, attack, and fucking game on.
And goes straight into fucking Vegeta. This is the absolute peak of animation right here. Like, this is just
some of the animation and some of the scenes, because you all know the old Broly movies, he had very unique green colored energy, but the way they did it in this movie was like, it was like nothing I've seen in an animated movie. This was some shit out of a live action movie, like some straight CGI from fucking Pacific Rim or something like that. I can't think of anything to quite equate it to. Like, I'm trying to think of a scene from another movie that looked as smooth as some of these explosion animations and mountains crumbling animations. Like, it was fucking mind blowing. And that shit, like, just straight applause from the whole theater. And you see, we know how Broly's kind of a Hulk-like character. The angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. So he starts off kind of a novice, not really knowing how to fight. He knew how to dodge attacks, but he didn't really know how to attack. And he comes at Vegeta, who is, after all these years, just a seasoned fighter. And I mean, he's just ducking and dodging and blocking and punching back with Broly, but you know, Vegeta comes to realize, shit, he's fucking learning. Every second, he's learning how to fight.
Every punch thrown and every punch received.
He's so naturally gifted as a fighter, and such a, you know, pure Saiyan. He's just learning from every blow. And Vegeta said he really, fuck, he's learning from the whole fight. And then you see him, you know, Vegeta's fighting in base form. Then he goes Super Saiyan, and he's still trying to fight with him. And he's like, you see, Vegeta has to keep bumping up the levels because Broly just keeps getting stronger and stronger while staying base. And then, dude, the thing that caused the hairs on my arm to stand and the entire crowd of that theater to roaring applause. Everybody had chills. And
we legit looked at each other like, I have goosebumps.
And it didn't just happen. It didn't just flash to it, but they made this awesome animation sequence, swirling energy, red energy, and everyone was like, oh shit. And then you see his eyes turn red. Fucking Vegeta turned Super Saiyan God! Not Super Saiyan God Blue, Super Saiyan God.
We never got to see that before.
I was like, what? I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. Like, I got goosebumps at the moment. That shit.
If it wasn't so late, I would say let's go try to watch the movie tonight.
It was
again.
insane. I'm on the motorcycle. You have no way to get there. Everyone knows I ride a motorcycle.
Oh, I was just making a joke as something else.
But it was one of those scenes that like gets you in the heart, and you were like, yes, we finally got to see something we've been waiting for. And he starts whooping up on Broly. I mean, fucking his shit up. And I don't remember. For some reason, I'm not remembering, but I don't think Vegeta ever got to Super Saiyan Blue. I think Goku took over before he went blue. He was
that's
God
one thing. And I think that's something else that was possibly cut out, because Goku was Vegeta was fighting Broly, and at one point Vegeta does a fucking in Super Saiyan Red God form, does just a big bang at Broly. Broly is in the water, bursts out, and this is before he goes into his other stage, his Ozaru state, but staying in his human form. And then Goku's like, "Hey, I want to have a turn at you."
Broly flies up. He's like, "Rah!"
And no one Vegeta.
Hold on. Throughout this whole fight, Broly never says a word. It's just screams.
Yeah.
Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah,
He's just getting punched through fucking mountains. And the next thing, he flies up, rah, and then all of a sudden you hear Goku, "Hey! I think it's time for me to have a turn."
Yeah, and I think
then he starts like doing his like Bruce Lee bounce around, kind of warming up. He's like, "All right, let's go."
Because knowing Vegeta, you know how prideful it is. Vegeta said, "No, I'm not done with this fight, Kakarot. I haven't even gotten to go full power. I want to finish my fight." Because Vegeta legit said nothing.
This is what you're hoping happens.
Well,
this is what you're hoping is cut out.
Yeah, this is...
Because Vegeta, we know Vegeta's
it just goes straight from...
Vegeta's like, "All right, have your fun."
Yeah,
That's
it doesn't say a
Vegeta
thing.
doesn't do.
Because in like Resurrection F, when Goku stepped in and to finish off Frieza, he bitched about that. In the Battle of Gods, he was like, "No, next time I want to go God and I want to take on the main bad guy.
Next time I get to become a god."
Yeah, so Vegeta just basically goes to the sideline for without any confrontation.
Maybe after all these years, he's kind of realized that when Goku wants a piece, just give him his piece. Otherwise, Goku might smack him around a little.
And by God, when Goku and Broly fight, we get one of the most spectacular and surprising moments of this entire movie. And this movie has a lot of them.
And
but
hold on. Up until this, he's still kind of stepping his way through the levels. Now, Vegeta was already at Super Saiyan God.
Oh yeah, you're right. What I was about to talk about.
Struggling to keep up with Broly. at that level, Broly goes to Goku in Goku's base form, just brawling with him. And he steps up from Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2, skips Super Saiyan 3, and I think just goes straight to Super Saiyan God after that.
Yeah, he went with Super Saiyan 1 then went to God.
Pretty much every time. No, he went 2, because I remember seeing Lightning.
Okay.
He might have done it like intra-fight, but like every time that Goku gets knocked back and has a second, he switches levels.
Yeah.
So he gets knocked back for a second, poof, switches to God, has a few rounds with him, and then all of a sudden does something I've never seen before. I don't remember. And
this is a Dragon Ball thing.
All of a sudden, he puts his hands down. You see this weird circle wave go into his chest, and he goes like that. And all of a sudden, Broly just stops moving. And I was like,
and he's engulfed by the aura.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? And he leans over. He goes, dude, this is what fucking Roshi did to Goku.
Yeah.
Like he stopped him. Like he froze him in time.
Yeah, Goku gets frozen in time during the World Martial Arts Tournament. I forget which one, but it's when Goku and Master Roshi, aka Jackie Chun, fight for the first time, and Jackie Chun basically stops Goku in midair and freezes him, and then there's a second portion of the fight where he's frozen Goku, and then he electrocutes him like he has the fucking lightning force of the dark side.
Lightning.
Yeah, force lightning.
Goku freezes him and he's holding him there. And he has this kind of like very grounded moment of, hey, calm down, big guy. Like, I know evil when I'm around it, and you're not evil. He's like, you're hurting. He goes, I know something's wrong. I know you're not a bad guy. And fucking Broly's like trying to get out of it, and you see Goku kind of struggling and holding him there, but he's like, you just stop, calm down, everything's okay. We don't have to fight. And you see Broly just kind of like, all of a sudden he kind of calms for a second. He's hearing what Goku says, and he takes a breath. He's like, maybe I'm not.
And then Paragus says something.
Paragus fucking chimes in and puts his 2 cents in, and Broly's eyes get wide again.
And somehow reverses it on Goku, because Goku then gets enveloped by a green aura, and he can't move.
And he manages, like, Broly goes to go after him, and he kind of manages to strengthen his way out of it, and fucking Tai Chi's Broly over, and blam, slams him into the ground. And
then Broly does the most Hulk thing ever. And before we get into it, I have to give applause to Sean Schemmel, because the screams that Goku make are so realistic
and agonizing
and gut-wrenching sounding,
like
that
he was truly in agony.
Yeah,
you could feel that shit.
So Broly, of course, I said Hulk. Broly grabs Goku by the leg
and just starts shit whipping him back and forth like the Hulk did to Loki.
But I would say 8 times worse, because Broly didn't stop after like 3 or 4 hits.
He just kept going, and he just kept slamming Goku onto his back and just busting the ground to shit with every hit.
And then one last hit to the ground. Broly then lets go, and Goku hits the ground and flips back up. Then Broly comes in, grabs Goku's face, and then starts railing into some ice and grinding his face.
I remember it. To me, it reminded me of in the original Broly movie when he just kind of clotheslined him and just rammed him into that mountain.
Yes.
But yeah, he had him by the side of the head and was just beating his face through the side of him like a glacier.
Yeah.
And then he just straight fucking and chucks him through like 3 fucking mountains.
Seriously, it was
and Goku, you see him just laying there, and he's like, anybody got any senzu beans?
Oh, hi, Piccolo!
So it flashes to Piccolo. He's obviously doing his, I'm Piccolo, I stand on mountains and I meditate. And he's standing there, and all of a sudden you obviously are aware that he was feeling what was going on. So he mind connects with Goku. Goku, what the hell's going on? Oh, hi Piccolo. Hey, you don't have any senzu beans, do you? Oh, no, I'm all out. Oh, that sucks. And then you finally see this moment in Goku when he's like, I might not win this. Because he tells Piccolo, I'm going to lock onto your energy, and if it gets real bad, I'm going to instant transmit to you. And Piccolo's like, damn, if it's really that bad, this guy must be pretty strong. You have no idea. So they go, a couple more rounds. Goku finally goes blue.
But can we talk about the transformation for a second when he goes blue?
Mm-hmm.
Because of that one moment.
So again, as I said earlier, I know what I know what Ultra Instinct is. And as he's powering up to go blue, his hair flashes white like that. And I noticed it and I caught it and I was like, what was that? And Steven's like, that was Instinct. What the hell? And I kind of rationalized it as, he was going hard to get to that next level. And when he almost flashed Ultra Instinct, he realized it and kind of brought himself back a little bit. That's why it flashed up and then came back down and then got himself to blue.
A lot of people are speculating that also might have been like just a small Easter egg and an animational choice, because also there was a little bit of green aura for some reason going from red
when
to...
he first started.
Yeah, when
he first powered up, he had this green... I'm like, was that green? Goku's never had a green aura before.
And by the way, this is another moment in the theater that made everyone applaud and shout and scream in joy. Like, what? Because he finally went blue, and we know as soon as Goku went blue... by the way, I didn't even realize this. They didn't even capitalize on this. We didn't even see Goku go Kaioken blue at all in this movie.
No, I think he was... I think he realized that they were going to need more than Kaioken.
Yeah, probably.
I kind of thought maybe he would do some Kaioken at the start of the fight. Kaioken and Super Saiyan, then
No. That would actually be bad for his body, actually.
Well, the only reason I think that is because I thought they were going to go with the progression of power. Like, Kaioken is stronger than base, Super Saiyan is stronger than Kaioken, and so on and so forth. So I thought, if anything, they would start out with it.
Yeah.
And yes, I know Kaioken damages the body.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say that part. I knew you already knew that.
Kaioken! Kaio what?
And so...
And before we continue, I cannot wait. And if you see this, please do it. I cannot wait for TFS to fucking abridge this.
Yes, please do it.
Oh my god.
Do it
Legendary
ASAP.
Bodybuilder Super Saiyan.
You thought when Broly was bad when they wanted you to make fucking the original Legendary Super Saiyan Broly movie? When Broly times 9,000 is now active.
Bro, yeah.
Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Finally canon. Make it happen. Now, I mean, they did the non-canon, but they need the Legendary Bodybuilder Super Saiyan.
Yes.
His piece so swole.
Shout out to
TFS.
And SSJ 9000.
SSJ 9000, yes.
He was also one that did an
that was where I
amazing
got that one from. So Goku finally, realizes I'm not going to win this, and he basically calls in Vegeta as backup. So now they're both Super Saiyan Blue. They're both tag team and Broly, but not really winning. They're just kind of keeping up now, and Broly just continues to get bigger and stronger and bigger and more swole and more fucking angry. And his hair starts turning his legendary Super Saiyan.
Before
green.
we get into this, though, I wanted to point something out that I saw that made me go, "Holy fuck balls!"
Holy fuck balls! That's intense.
So
when
Broly is in his wrathful Broly state, before he goes Super Saiyan, he has yellow eyes. Someone pointed this out that I didn't connect, because the yellow eyes is a sign of the Great Ape. Super Saiyan 4 has yellow eyes.
Oh.
What if Broly can enhance and actually make... Only Broly makes Super Saiyan 4 canon.
That'll be interesting. We'll have to wait till another movie.
Yeah, that made me shit myself a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
So, they're tag teaming. Goku throws an energy ball that I'd never seen before. It was like sparkly and rainbowy. And I remember when
that was Gogeta. That wasn't Goku.
That was later
Gogeta.
on?
That was later on.
Happened before. Okay.
No.
Anyways, that was still cool. I'd never seen that before. He kind of leaned over and tell me what it was, but it was just this glowy, fucking rainbowy ball. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, that was Gogeta,
so,
not Goku.
Goku and Vegeta are fighting, and they're going off on Broly. And they have this moment where they fly back and go back to back. And another standing ovation, roaring applause moment happens when Goku and Vegeta, Goku does the Kamea facing this way, Vegeta does his fucking, not the Final Flash, but the Gallic Gun facing the other way, back to back, and they both fired at Broly at the same time. Everyone was like, fuck yes! There's another roaring applause. Now I will say
The only complaint we have about this.
I have 2 complaints with this move. They're tandem blast. They're 2 of the most well-known things that these 2 characters have done. I will say it was very, very cool that the fact that this is the first time we've seen those 2 moves used at the same time since they were aimed at each other. They were aimed at the same target this time. My bitch is that they should have made the Gallic gun purple like it originally was. And this is just, that is a bitch butt to me. But something that I think would have made the scene cooler is if when they had shot them, the beams kind of started, twisting around each other, candy cane style, and became one hit. Yeah. I think that would have been very cool. I would have liked to have seen that. That would have been, something additional. But my biggest bitch is that the Gallic gun was yellow and not purple. I think that would, the contrast of blue and purple would have looked amazing, like that shirt that you have where it shows them hitting.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking cool.
And one thing we did kind of, I accidentally skipped on when I almost wanted to talk about it. Before we go any further, this is just a flashback to the beginning of Broly fighting Goku at Super Saiyan Blue level. First person fighting as Broly.
Oh my god. Yeah.
We almost forgot.
I skipped right over that.
Yeah. The moment that happened confused everyone in the theater because they were like, wait a second.
It took a second to realize what was happening. We thought we were just watching, a different camera angle. And then all of a sudden you see Broly's fists throwing balls and fucking fighting. You're like, wait a minute.
Going through ice.
Like,
fighting Goku through fucking...
We're in Broly's perspective.
Holy
They went like
fuck.
Doom, they went straight up Doom style. And I was like, that was hella unique. That was a totally different camera thing that I thought would have ever been done in a movie like this or a Dragon Ball Z movie in general.
I never ever thought I would want to see first person Dragon Ball Z fight. And now that I have, I hope we see a little bit more.
That was the dopest shit that I think we saw in that whole movie. It was just one of the most unique scenes.
Yeah.
Can I make a side note that's not even about this fucking film? I'm watching our audio levels, and my voice only ever gets up about half that green. Yours has hit red about 17 times since we've been here.
I get loud.
Your voice is so ear-piercingly loud. I can't stand it sometimes. He talks like this and yells when we're in the truck together.
I don't do it on purpose.
He's this far away from me in a closed metal box with an engine running, and I'm pretty sure I've lost like 80% of the hearing in my right ear because of you. That was just a side note. Anyway, back to the movie. So they do their fights. They fire the Gallic gun and Kamehameha side by side, and it was another moment when the hair on the back of my neck and on my arm just stood on end. It was incredible. It was the coolest thing I've seen in Dragon Ball Z since I was a child watching Goku go Super Saiyan for the first fucking time.
Yeah.
That was the feeling that it brought back for me. It was just hit me right in the chest. I was like, that was fucking cool.
That's why I said at the beginning of the video, this is the most Z Super's ever been.
This is the most Dragon Ball Z that Dragon Ball Z has been in years.
Yeah.
Well, it was mind-blowing. So after that kind of fails,
yeah,
I guess, Broly kind of whips up on a little more, and Goku grabs Vegeta and instant transmits.
Wait. The lead up to what happens before they instant transmit. We didn't say this part, but going back to in the beginning of this video, we talked about how Paragus killed that one Saiyan. Frieza! With flashbacks to how Goku turned Super Saiyan and looks to Paragus and says, Finger laser! Oh, Broly! A random key blast killed your father! Did I do that too well?
That was so beautifully recreated. I'm glad we have that on camera.
I don't think I could ever do that on purpose again.
Folks, that was the greatest impersonation this man has ever done in his life.
And
that was mind blowing.
And the thing is that's the moment that Broly turns into the Super Saiyan form.
The legendary Super Saiyan.
And then the Goku and Vegeta Gallic gun happens.
Yeah.
We forgot that part. And so, leading up to, as Goku figures, we gotta get the fuck out of here, because I have an idea. They fly and fucking say...
Well, they didn't have the idea yet. He didn't have the idea until after they transmitted over.
They just needed to get the fuck out of there.
They needed a minute to breathe. Now, when they leave, guess who Broly turns his attention to?
because they let him right into him.
Frieza.
And he's like, what the?
Here's Goku and Vegeta. Here's Frieza. They fly away right past him and transmit away. And then fucking Frieza's like, shit.
And they turn, and like, the thing about it is when they transport to Piccolo, this is the one part that we need to talk about where animation quality dips.
This is the one thing that they did that was like, that made it not a 10 for Steven, but I still feel like they did it on purpose.
I still kind of want to give it a 10.
Yeah, they took the animation quality from here to here. They dropped it so much. Like, they spent all their money on these other scenes and the scenes to come and saved it on this little, 3 or 4 minute interaction with Piccolo. It looked like 90s era Dragon Ball animation. It was actually really funny to see.
Yeah.
And they're telling Piccolo about, Broly, and he's like, man, this guy really is as powerful as you say. I think I might just get in the way. Like, he wants Goku, or Piccolo realizes he probably doesn't want any of this fight. He'll probably die. And this whole time that they're having this conversation, Frieza is getting his ass whipped by Broly.
Yeah.
Dude, just straight getting a mud hole stomped in his candy ass.
And it's just like constant because when Goku pops in the idea, what about fusion?
Yeah, what if we fuse?
And so, by the way, the
and
funniest...
he's like, you want me to fuse with you?
And
he
do
goes,
that
"Well,
ridiculous
we did
dance.
It with the earrings.
He goes like, "Ah!" kind of pose, like imitating it.
A nod back to Battle of Gods when he was entertaining Beerus.
I was like, boy, you can do that fusion dance if you can do that bingo dance.
For real. He's like, it's the most embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
I'm sorry, no, that bingo dance was more embarrassing than the fusion dance.
So they keep flashing back to Frieza getting his ass handed to him, getting knocked through mountains and beaten the shit out of.
And they make
and
Deku canon.
Yeah. So they keep flashing back, and Goku finally convinces Vegeta to do the fusion. And so he kind of, Piccolo and Vegeta show him the fusion dance,
You mean Piccolo and Goku? You said
That's
Piccolo.
what I said.
You said Piccolo and Vegeta.
Did I?
Yeah.
Piccolo and Goku. My fault. I never claimed to be a smart man. So yeah, Piccolo and Goku show Vegeta the fusion dance, and it's after that they flash back Frieza getting fucking beaten the hell out of again. They flash back, now Goku and Vegeta are trying the dance, and they did something that I thought was really funny. And if you're a fan of classic Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm talking about. But they go to do the fusion ha, and they touch, and it shows their fingers do this instead of line up. And everybody in the theater starts laughing because they know what's coming. And the only thing I can think of is it going to be the fat or is it going to be the old? And the first one it shows, it's super fat Goku or super fat Gogeta.
Veku.
Veku,
That one, the fat fusion actually has a canon name. The skinny one does not.
Yeah.
But I would say skinny Veku, fat Veku.
Yeah. They showed fat Veku, and he's like, well, you got to try. Your angles were all off. You got to try to get another half hour. Flashback. Frieza's still getting his ass whooped
for an entire half hour.
And then it flashes back. They try it again.
Fusion ha. And they mess up.
Skinny
and old.
Veku. Skinny and old Veku. He's like, oh, you did it wrong. Your angles were all off. And then it shows
back to
45, 60. Try to get in another half hour.
Back to Frieza
getting whooped up.
He's in a crater.
Realized Vegeta's been getting his ass fucking handed to him for an hour at this point. Frieza. What did I say?
You said
God,
Vegeta again.
Fucking talk. He's been getting his ass handed to him for a whole hour. And then they flash back, and finally, Fusion Ha, beak. You see this huge fucking tower of light shoot up in the air. Swirls of energy, and then you see the arms here. He's got that short, cut off, like, black gi, purple belt. And you're like, it's fucking Gogeta! And it's funny. It's just like that.
The only difference is the orange is yellow.
Yeah, the orange is it's much more yellow in the movie. And they were like, well, the last one was called Vegito. What should we call this one? And they kind of go through a couple like weird options.
Gogeta.
They sell Gokuja. How about Gogeta? No,
By the
that
way,
sounds so stupid.
by the way,
but it has to have a name. Fine, Gogeta.
By the way, a little bit of the funniness and the kookiness of name and wanting to be all like cool of Gotenks is shown in Gogeta, which we never got in the Fusion Reborn movie.
Yeah, and you see that just that perfect blend of Goku's childishness and Vegeta's seriousness. And it just mixes. Obviously, it's a fusion. It mixes perfectly. So they instant transmit back, and the fucking fight scene that ensues after that is incredible.
Like legit, any and all DBZ fans probably jizzed themselves during this fight scene.
I needed new pants.
You need a new pants?
I needed new pants. Oh my god, it was so fucking cool.
By the way, as an idea,
what's weird
this is like 2 days after we've seen the movie.
I can't even remember most of what happened because I was in such awe watching it.
I definitely think we need to go watch this movie again tomorrow.
Absolutely. I can't even remember most of the detail. I can't even really remember what happened.
So when Gogeta shows up, I remember. When Gogeta shows up, Whis is actually being attacked. Like, Frieza's in a crater, and he's knocked the fuck out, basically.
And he has gone gold at this point.
Yeah,
and Broly knocked the gold out of him.
Yeah. Frieza's just laying in that crater. By the way, until the end of the movie, I think Frieza was so broken and damaged, it hurts to move. I'm just staying here. He just stayed in that crater the entire fight between Broly and Gogeta. And then Broly goes after Whis. So we get a moment of Whis just dodging and weaving. Oh, you think you can hit me? Which was kind of funny. And then fucking Gogeta says, "Don't worry, I got this." Ooh, oh my.
Oh my.
You finally get to work together like I wanted.
It's like, even Whis like, oh, that was close. And he's like, yeah, he goes, finally, you two working together like I knew you could. And dude, the fucking fight scene is incredible.
The first thing Gogeta does was start blocking Broly, and then he goes Super Saiyan, and then he does these fucking crazy ass blast moves that fucking he goes in and does martial arts on Broly, throws him around, and then does this huge ass like Gatling gun style of ki blast that are all just like mini Kamehamehas.
He rains down showers.
Like it's a mini rainbow of Kamehamehas doing a huge like tornado, but not like spinning, just like covering everywhere. And Broly's taking it, and then this next part is what you don't know or didn't understand was it's called Stardust Breaker, which was the move that Gogeta uses only once, and that's what finished off Janemba in the Fusion Reborn movie. And he uses it. Broly blocks and lives, which is the first time we've ever seen that move used on an enemy, and an enemy survives, even though it's only been used once in a non-canon movie. And it's also been called like Soul Crusher, but also Soul Punisher or Stardust Breaker. There's a couple names for it. But it was an amazing like nod to that move. And then Broly goes full on like, I'm done with this shit. Giant mountain-sized green ki blast, and Gogeta goes blue and collides with that ki blast. And then the most craziest thing I've ever thought would actually happen, they broke the dimension.
They blew each other into another dimension.
And the thing
it reminded me a lot of like Doctor Strange, where it was just like trippy colors and shapes. It was kind of like, it was more like Ant-Man when he was shrinking all the way down. It was reminiscent of that. Just had weird like, hexagonal and angly shapes.
And the thing
it was nothing. There was nothing.
And the thing I liked about it is, I don't know if you realized it, but usually in a fight like that, they just continuously fight. But Gogeta's like, realized, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Where is this place? What just happened? He legit says that. And then, they just continuously fight. And
then the fight ends up, getting so intense. Remember, at this point, Broly's eyes have gone white. His hair is fucking green. He is full on legendary Super Saiyan.
He is full on this.
So the fight goes on, just not that big. The fight goes on, and they end up knocking each other back out of this dimension and into reality. So they blew each other out of reality and then back into it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was cool.
Seriously. And then Gogeta starts welling on Broly for a little bit longer, And this fight between, once Gogeta shows up, lasts for about good 10-15 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, and I think Gogeta
We forgot one thing. The funniest thing ever is when Gogeta shows up before taking over the fight from Whis being attacked. He shows up and teleports in front of Frieza, and Frieza's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, who the hell are you?
We are Goku and Vegeta. We've merged our bodies. That's not fucking fair!
That's a thing.
Oh yeah, you weren't alive when we could do this. Yeah, it's a trick.
Yeah. So.
And
Yeah, I think at this point, that fact that Gogeta's in Super Saiyan Blue, the fight was won. Now, had they kept on going and had they kept fighting, and we'll get into why they didn't, Gogeta would have inevitably killed Broly because Broly wasn't going to stop, and
so
Gogeta obviously couldn't let him win.
Yeah.
For fear of destroying everything.
Yeah.
So Chilai and Lemo are watching this fight the whole time, and Chilai, obviously, as you said before, kind of had feelings and a great deal of sympathy for Broly, and she realizes if this keeps going on, he's gonna die. There's no reason for it. They've used this guy his entire life. He hasn't known any kind of kindness except for the food and water we gave him, and he's gonna fucking kill him. So Frieza had the Dragon Balls with him
on the ship they were in,
and they were getting ready to use them, and once the fight started, he kind of gave him off to one of his lieutenants or whatever. He was like, "Here, hold on to these for me."
Some weird Squidward yellow dude.
Yeah, so Chilai and Lemo find this guy holding blasters to the back of his head, force him to do the dragon ritual, and call up Shenron. And she's got the gun. How do you make the wish? Do the wish I wanted to tell you. And he's like, "You just fucking say what you want. That's it." She's like, "It's that easy?"
Yeah, that was another joke right there. And so she just then blurts out, "Teleport Broly back to the Earth we found, the planet we found him on.
And keep him safe,
And, right before Broly gets hit by the Kamehameha, I noticed his pupils came back. I don't know if you noticed that, but his pupils
didn't see that.
came back right before the impact.
Gogeta was charging up the fucking gnarliest,
Kamehameha.
most powerful Kamehameha we have ever seen in anything related to Dragon Ball Z.
And I would say this is
stronger still than the family.
Yeah.
And he just fucking hauls it off. And all of a sudden, you see...
And this is another complaint I would have. We have Vegeta doing the final Kamehameha. We have non-canon Super... Huh?
Not Vegeta.
Yeah,
Vegeta.
I don't know. Vegito and Super does
in Super. I thought you were talking about
final
this.
Kamehameha. And we have non-canon Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta doing the Big Bang Kamehameha. Why did Gogeta in this not do, I don't know, Gallic Kamehameha or something? Or just do since Vegito has final Kamehameha, give Gogeta in general Big Bang Kamehameha. Like, I still like the fact that it was still Kamehameha, but I was kind of...
It definitely looked different.
Yeah.
It definitely looked, it had some different coloring to it. But yeah, he launches that, and then all of a sudden, Flash, Broly is gone. He's back on Vampa, that weird planet, and he's back to normal.
Yeah.
So the wish, it made him safe. It brought his levels down, took him back to base Broly, and back to his home planet. And that was the end of the fight. That was it.
That was it.
This ridiculously epic, fucking redonkulous battle over like that. And Goku was just, Gogeta was just kind of smiling about it. He's like,
he was happy the fact that Broly got away.
That's good. That's better. That's better than that.
Because the Goku inside of him knew that Broly wasn't
Broly's
evil.
not a bad guy. He wasn't a bad guy. He was used. He'd been used.
He was used, abused, and traumatized.
Next thing, you have Chilai and Lemo in a ship.
Stealing a ship, and Frieza's about to blast them, and then Gogeta's like...
And Gogeta, he grabs him by the wrist, and he goes, "I don't think so."
And fucking Frieza goes, "I'm going back to my ship!"
Yeah, they let him go again.
Yeah.
And he let him walk. And now Frieza knows
there's a level.
really what Goku and Vegeta are capable of, and he's like, "I want no part of this. I'm fucking out. I got some training to do.
Give me 6 months."
Give me 6 months. No, nothing that.
I don't think Frieza can ever beat
Nothing Frieza
Gogeta
has or could possibly, don't touch my phone.
I don't know why I did
could
that.
possibly have is gonna get to where Vegeta and Goku can get with Gogeta.
Yeah.
Nothing. They have nothing. Frieza has nothing for them anymore. So, Chilai and Lemo are now flying
Heading back.
to Vampa, running away from the Frieza Force. Who's gonna follow them? Nobody. No one cares. They're a couple of low-level fucking foot soldiers. So they get there.
And they also will have, once they get to the planet, have Broly to protect them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they said that. We got Broly. Who's gonna fuck with us now?
Yeah.
So they get to the planet and they find Broly, and of course Chilai and him lock eyes and shit. And she's like, "No, we're here for you. We're gonna help you out." So a little while goes on. They have to jump forward.
It's about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, they jump forward. All of a sudden you hear, like, oh, we all know that sound.
And also Broly's like, someone's here.
Someone's here.
So
And
wait, that just confirmed
here-
Broly picked up on the ability to sense people because he didn't have that before.
Yeah, maybe it's a feeling he had, or didn't know how to quantify it as sensing power levels. He could just feel something.
Yeah.
And as powerful as Goku is, I'm probably sure it feels a little bit like the stims in our pre-workout, just tingling all over it.
Yeah.
So Goku starts walking up. Hey, anybody down here? And they start obviously getting all defensive, and Goku just straight befriends the dude. He's like, listen, you're a cool guy. I like you. You're powerful as hell. You showed me that even after the Tournament of Power, at the levels I got to, I still got some ways to go. I still have levels that I can reach. And he brings him a little capsule thing. I had Bulma make these up for you. You might want to stand back. And he fucking throws one. It's a house. And then it throws one. It's food. And he's like, he just gives them all these things because he knows they're now hiding. And he wants to help. He wants to make sure this dude's cool because Goku has found a new sparring partner. But Vegeta got left in the dust. He's too weak.
Once again.
He's too weak. And now Goku has a new sparring partner.
Well, I don't think Vegeta will ever die out as a sparring partner.
No, I don't. That's not what I'm saying. But right now, fucking dude, Broly's at a level that Vegeta can't.
But at the same
with.
time, I don't know if you picked this up, but the way Goku talked to him when he was in his god form, and the way he talked to him after the whole fight and everything, and on that planet, you have a lot to learn.
Yeah, he told
He saw him as a potential person he could teach.
Yeah. Of course,
as a student.
fucking Goku being Goku, befriending all of his enemies. Vegeta. Boo.
Tien.
Piccolo. Yamcha.
Well, Yamcha.
Even Yamcha didn't like him.
That's right.
Yamcha.
Yeah, that's true.
Master Roshi took him under his wing.
Android 18.
Android
even though
18.
that was because
Android,
of Krillin.
And the other android, was it 17?
17, yes. Even 16.
Fucking the only one, I think, recently the only ones he hasn't
Cell.
is Cell. Fucking Beerus became friends with, and now Broly. He just befriends everybody because Goku's so likable.
And Frieza technically compromised for the Tournament of Power.
Yep.
He
compromised to keep himself alive.
And even in this movie, Frieza didn't yes, he set up a fight between these two Saiyans to go at it to see maybe Goku get his ass kicked. But he still wants Goku dead as revenge, but at the same time, he's not going stupidly about it. At the same time, he's showing that he wants, he's kind of okay, but he still grudges Goku. Because there is a moment in the Tournament of Power that I'm not going to say, but even has a moment of Frieza saying, "God damn it, you're right," to Goku.
Yeah. And really, that's pretty much where the movie ends.
Last statement, though. By the way, because we're both Saiyans, Broly, my name is Goku, but you can call me Kakarot.
Yeah, he's the first one to be able to call him Kakarot.
That's the first time I ever heard Goku.
Call himself Kakarot.
Yeah.
And say that, you can call me Kakarot. Because he's another Saiyan, as a fellow Saiyan. And then it just cuts to credits.
By the way, I want to say
another standing ovation.
Yeah. By the way, in the credits, I thought it was the funniest thing, and I even saw people memeing it on Twitter, because that moment where they show Gogeta go, showing off his chest. Pectorials. Oh god, that was hilarious.
God, it was such a good movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Why did you watch this? We told you everything.
Why did you watch this?
But at the same time,
go see it
what
for
we
yourself.
just said still does not immense to
Now,
anything.
you may know what's gonna happen, but you need to go watch it happen.
You may heard of what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen. Your eyes haven't feasted on what happens. So your experience.
And if you have seen it already, go see it again.
Let us know in the comments below how you guys enjoyed this review. I know it was super. Like, I was thinking this review was going to be about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot longer than that. Make your own video about what you think about it. Tag us on Instagram if you can.
Or Twitter.
Or Twitter. I'll put my Twitter handle and Instagram down in the description with his. Let us know what you think. DM me. I don't care.
And
and if you have made it through this video, keep your eyes out for some shit happening from Misa coming up soon.
also,
that's all I'm gonna say.
We're going to say one word. Put this in the comment if you made it to this point. Because of how epic this movie was. Hashtag Mother of God Crab Battle.
Hashtag Crab Battle.
Mother of God Crab Battle. If you made it to this point,
God,
prove it by putting that down below.
Battle.
Alright.
Do we want to set a light goal? A light goal.
A light goal, yeah. We should have done that at the beginning.
We did listen to all of you, obviously. Steven put out a poll.
Thank you for
90-something% of you said you wanted to see my ass in it. So
over 200 plus people voted on that.
And it was like 97% or some shit.
97 and 3% said, nah, do it by yourself.
Yeah, or they couldn't care one or the other.
Yeah, it was mostly like that.
97% of you wanted to see me, and thank you for that. Here I am. So, like I said, if you made it this far, you watch out for some stuff coming up from me soon, if you care.
And I guess in the future, I can try to get him back on the channel for another reaction too, because I know you guys have been requesting certain videos.
What?
I can see you.
What?
Alright guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to show the like. Like goal for this video will be 300 likes. I don't think an hour plus video that I ever put would ever hit that like goal. But you know what?
Yeah,
let's see.
If they can stomach this long of a fucking thing, I'd be surprised. But
yeah, we talked for way too long. I thought this review was only going to be like 30-40 minutes at most.
We'll see. But thanks for watching, guys.
Alright, until next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Hashtag Mother God Crab Battle.
Mother of God Crab Battle. Alright.
Chala, hey, chala.
Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you want more, check out the description below. Hope to see you guys in a later video. Also, have an awesome day.